Cortana, all I need to know is did we lose them?
I think we both know the answer to that.
We made a blind jump. How did they...
Get here first? The Covenant ships have always been faster. As for tracking us all the way from Reach, at light speed my maneuvering options were limited.
We were running dark, yes?
Until we decelerated, no one could have missed the hole we tore in subspace. They were waiting for us on the far side of the planet.
So, where do we stand?
Our fighters are mopping up the last of their recon picket now, nothing serious. But I've isolated approach signatures for multiple CCS-class battle groups. Make it 3 capital ships per group. And in about 90 seconds, they'll be all over us.
Well, that's it then. Bring the ship back up to Combat Alert Alpha. I want everyone at their station.
Everyone, sir?
Everyone. And Cortana. Let's give our old friends a warm welcome.
I've already begun.
Attention, all combat personnel. Please report to your action station. This platoon, secure airlocks on deck 11. 14th platoon rendezvous with 22nd Tactical at Bulkhead Charlie 14.
You heard the lady. Move like you got a purpose.
This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill.
Man, here's where we show those split-chin, squid-head sons of bitches that they could not have picked a worse enemy than the human race. We are going to blow the hell out of those dumb bugs until we don't have anything left to shoot them with. And then we are going to strangle them with their own living guts. Am I right, Marines?
Sir, yes, sir!
Damn right I am. Now move it out. Double time.
Attention all personnel. We are re-engaging the enemy. External and internal contact imminent.
All you greenhorns who wanted to see Covenant up close, this is gonna be your lucky day.
Sir?
Right. Let's thaw him out.
Okay. Bringing low-level systems online. Cracking the case in 30 seconds. He's hot! Blowing the pins in 5. Come on, we've got to get the hell out of here.
Going back to this game is like meeting an old friend. It is amazing, and I never get bored of it. Just go watch out for this explosion. That takes off a little bit of your shield if you're not careful. You've got to remember what the crouch button was. Left stick down. There's an elite round here somewhere. So yeah, I'm going to be trying to run through this pretty easily. It's on heroic, so it's not too hard. Just hard enough, really. Bit of a challenge here and there. Really do enjoy this game, though. So much. I love the way they have a Aliens reference. Where is it? Talking about Calico Cat answers to Jonesy. Yep, there we go. It's an Aliens reference. Ripley's cat's called Jonesy.
Captain Keyes.
Good to see you, Master Chief. Things aren't going well. Cortana did her best, but we never really had a chance.
A dozen Covenant superior battleships against a single Halcyon-class cruiser. With those odds, I'm content with 3, make that 4 kills. Sleep well?
No thanks to your driving, yes.
So you did miss me.
Report.
It must have been one of their boarding parties. I I guess an antimatter charge.
Ma'am, fire control for the main cannon is offline.
Captain, the cannon was my last offensive option.
All right, then. I'm initiating cold protocol Article 2. We're abandoning the Autumn. That means you too, Cortana.
While you do what? Go down with the ship?
In a manner of speaking. The object we found, I'm gonna try and land the Autumn on it.
With all due respect, sir, this war has enough dead heroes.
I appreciate your concern, Cortana, but it's not up to me. The protocol is clear. Destruction or capture of a shipboard AI is absolutely unacceptable, and that means you're leaving ship. Lock in a selection of emergency landing zones, upload them to my neural lace, and then sort yourself for a heart transfer.
Aye, aye, sir.
Which is where you come in, Chief. Get Cortana off this ship. Keep her safe from the enemy. If they capture her, they'll learn everything. Force deployment, weapons research, Earth.
I understand.
The Autumn will continue evasive maneuvers until you initiate a landing sequence. Not that you'll listen, but I'd suggest letting my subroutines handle the final purge.
Excellent work, Cortana. Thank you. Are you ready?
Yank me.
Good luck, Master Chief.
Your architecture isn't much different from the Autumn's.
Don't get any funny ideas.
I don't keep it loaded, son. You'll have to find ammo as you go.
So, the playthrough is a little bit different in that I have a couple of skulls turned on which make explosions a little bit more ridiculous. So that'll be fun to see what happens with it. I just gotta get used to all the controls because I've been playing a lot of Battlefield recently. Oh! Yep. A lot of plasma grenades. I'm dead already. I've not even stepped out of the first room. So what happens is the grunts drop grenades, and grenades chain explode. So I've got to be really careful. So, where to start then? This game is one thing that got me into video game development purely because of its modding kit. What happened was I originally got this on the Xbox when it was, well, it's not exactly first release, but when Halo 2 was just about coming out, I got myself an Xbox and Halo 1. I played on it in a internet cafe for ages. And like I've mentioned in a couple of other videos, what drew me to it was the Spartan 2's armor design and the assault rifle design, the MA5B. And after that I got playing it, and I played it on co-op with friends. We got up to the library and we kept playing it at this net cafe until we completed it. And then I got it for the PC. And what happened was, I would constantly go on multiplayer and play on GameSpy servers. And that's when I really got into the online multiplayer kind of side of things, because I'd never really played many multiplayer games up until then, apart from Phantasy Star Online for Dreamcast and Diablo 2 for the PC, back when I had like a 56k modem. Oh, and more health on this game. So this was like one of the first games that I played properly online.
To attach their boarding craft. We go out
Myself
and they
the
come in.
plasma rifle there. And I got really good at this game. It's no surprise that most people were good at it just because of the pistol, but this got to ridiculous levels. Like the PC version had 2 new maps. I think it was Timberland and Infinity. And Timberland was a very forest style area, very forest looking style area. It was kind of like Blood Gulch, but it had a rocket launcher in the middle and an invisibility, and then it had snipers on both of the bases, which were kind of like the Sidewinder bases. And then the Infinity level was a huge canyon with bases either end, which looked very similar to the bases that you find in A30 on the second level of the campaign. And it was pretty cool. It had like Banshees on and rocket hogs and everything, because the PC version had a different version of Warthog, which is black and yellow, or rather all black with a yellow stripe, and had a triple-barreled rocket launcher on the back, and that was really cool. It was good for doing drive-bys on bases with... Right, I've got to make sure all these guns don't explode in my face. So, the PC version was amazing. I got really good with the sniper rifle, and I ended up starting my own clan on it, and it was really fun. I had thousands of hours worth of fun on that game. And what happened was about 2005. Wow, I'm dead again. About 2005, I found out there was another version. And this other version was called Halo Custom Edition, which was kind of confusing when you have Halo CE, which is Combat Evolved, and Halo CE, Halo Combat Evolved Custom Edition. And that was when I got into the modding side of things very slowly. At first, what happened was I made a couple of friends online on the CE version because it had separate servers that weren't linked to the normal PC version. And you had to use your original CD key to access it. So what it was a download, and it was multiplayer only, a bit like Counter-Strike or something, but you could make your own maps. So people were making like sequels to classic maps like Blood Gulch 2, which was Blood Gulch, but with a giant canyon in the centre. And what would happen is it would limit you to only the hog could jump the canyon, and at the same time you could only really take the caves on the right hand side of Red Base or the cliffs on the left hand side to get around the other side. So it was very vehicle based for CTF, and you had 2 choke points for the infantry, so it was kind of crazy. You had other maps that started popping up,
on the landing above us.
like you had Halo 2 style maps that ended up coming in just before Halo 2 was released. There was a level called New Mombasa Classic, and it was the Halo 2 E3 demo. Somebody had taken the E3 demo as inspiration and made a long sort of rectangular map, and at either end it had 2 bases that were themed like the Sidewinder bases, but as buildings. And then on top they had a fuel rod gun, a sniper, and a Banshee. And then you had a invisibility or an overshield in the middle, and it was a long drive down the highway or the normal street. In the middle there was, to get to the power-ups, you had like these 2 underground connecting sewage pipes, and then there was 2 parking garages either end, and you could drive up them with the hog to get a overlooking shot of the bases, or you could just do drive-bys on people. And it was so funny. There were so many good games on that level. I wish they'd have taken that and used it as inspiration for later Halo games in terms of how to design a multiplayer map, because a lot of the fans did really, really good maps. There were so many. It got really crazy in the later years of development where they had games. Oh, just gotta wait for this cutscene here.
The life pods are launching. We should hurry. The Covenant are destroying the life pods.
So anyway, later on in development,
Warning,
when everyone
blast
got
doors
more...
closing. We have to use the ship's maintenance access ways. Follow the nav point. It will lead you to an opening.
When everyone got more familiar with development, then we started to get like customizable things like different characters, different vehicles, it was crazy. We started getting things like people would make completely different things that weren't related to Halo. Like we had a flaming sword that used the PC version's flamethrower, which wasn't in the original game. They used the flamethrower particles to make a sword that was on fire, and I remember that was really cool. And a load of laser guns that would shoot sentinel beams and other things. And you'd get the odd person that would throw AI into the level and make like an AI variant, so you'd have Blood Gulch with like a huge AI war going on. That was always fun. But then we started getting things like Yo-Yo Rast Island, and that was made by Yo-Yo Rast himself. He's like one of the main guys that was in the community at the time. And he made this crazy stunt map where it was an island with lots of ramps and different things on it going through its innards, and that was really popular for multiplayer. You started getting people like Tiamat developing Cold Snap and Huge Ass, which were two gigantic levels that were, if I remember rightly, they used some sort of optimization trick to make the levels bigger than the actual engine would handle, because there were a lot of different tricks to getting bigger levels in the engine. And these two levels were gigantic. You had to use planes and other vehicles that were brought in, that were all custom, that were deliberately sped up so you could actually find someone on the map. You had a giant tank on it. I can't remember what the tank was called. I think it was the Mythos, but it was a giant quadruped tank with a giant cannon on the back. And oh crap, I forgot about that explosion. And this cannon would shoot the particles that are fired from the Forerunner bases on A30, or the second level. And these giant cannon blasts would go off like nukes and just kill everything. Then we had more Halo 2 maps, or Halo 2 themed maps, from the Halo 2 mapping team. We had at least one Metroid map that was done by the Metroid team, where people were constantly trying to put different games in Halo CE. So you had like Metroid, Counter-Strike. I had my hand in developing a Sonic mod at one point, which was pretty cool, because it was funny trying to get the engine to work in different ways. The problem with CE was that the community, and it still is the problem, is that the community is very small. So you have some people that work on multiple modding teams, so when you try and do one thing, you'll end up sharing team members. And it was a shame because a lot of teams died out that way, because they shared team members and the much larger teams took those team members for most of the time. Anyway, that was A10, or the Pillar of Autumn.
Very good time to leave.
Now we're going to end up on A30, which is the main area of the game at the start, where you can explore. Funny thing about it is, this specific scene, they only move the camera, they don't move the ships or anything. I think the life pod is animated, but it's put to the side when you're looking at an engine, but the ship doesn't actually move. It's interesting how they tricked their own engine to doing a lot of stuff. You can hear it in the commentary for single player. If you go online and YouTube it, you can hear Jason and I think it's Joe Staten talking about the story, along with Marty, and how they tricked the engine, or rather they tricked the players into thinking that stuff was going on, when really it was just a lot of smart camera work and things like that that allowed you to get round the limitations of the engine, because it is pretty damn limited, and without sort of the open source CE version you wouldn't have any crazy mods that are on it now.